wonderful listeners, to the Shadow and Starlight Podcast, where two friends deep dive into popular fantasy and romantasy books. We get into the stories, characters, world building, lore, and so much more.
So buckle your seatbelts for this wild roller coaster of emotions, magical worlds, and laughs. I'm Kinsey.
I'm Kana.
And today we're covering chapters 12 through 22 of Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros.
First and foremost, please listen carefully to our content warning. These are adult books we are covering, and neither of us have a filter, so this podcast is rated R and for those 18 plus. Regarding spoilers, if you have not finished the entire Onyx Storm book, please come back after doing so. While we are discussing this stretch of chapters, we will be doing so with the perspective of what happens in the rest of the book for better understanding, to dive deeper into the theories, and appreciate the masterful foreshadowing of Rebecca Yarros. Going forward, all episodes on our show will contain spoilers for the whole series in question.
Next, if you like what you hear today and want more, please come back next Thursday, and next Thursday, and next Thursday, and next Thursday, and every Thursday after that for a brand new episode. What did we agree on that we were now?
Pubescent podcast. No, don't say that.
Oh.
Adolescent? We're going through our podcast puberty.
As an adolescent podcast, we would love to hear your feedback to better ourselves and expand our book-loving community. Please feel free to give us reviews, reach out to us on social media, and follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and watch us on YouTube at Shadow and Starlight Pod.
Well, Drink of the Pod it's a wine night for us girlies over here. So I'm having, I think it's Chardonnay. I don't know. My mom just handed me a glass of wine. I was like, cool.
Cool.
How did you anticipate what I wanted?
Yeah, I got a cup of, what's this, like 18% wine? Taylor Port
stuff.
Yeah.
It's
so if I'm making faces, that's why. Because I haven't entered that stage of adulthood where I can take a sip of a drink and not make a face, unless it's like super sweet. If I can taste the alcohol, I'm making a face. So I can't.
Weak. No,
maybe. That's why I hate tasting it.
Well, shall we cross the parapet?
Yes.
Okay. This stretch of chapters opens with Violet sucking on Xaden's face, who is rapidly losing his grip.
I'm sorry, but my head went somewhere else. Reading that sentence, I was like, where is this going?
Oh, my bad.
I got a little scared.
You dirty little gutter rat. This stretch of chapters opens with Violet sucking on Xaden's face, who is rapidly losing his grip on his control, emotions, and possibly morals. Guess that's what happens when you sell your soul to keep your woman alive. After they set some boundaries and discuss that most of the freaking marked ones have second signets, like it's no big deal, business is back to usual at Bezgaeth. Battle brief, physics, homework, death roll, flight lessons, the whole nine. After finding out her man has a burned out channel from the source, Violet goes to get answers from teen pop sensation Justin Bieber. Sorry, folks, it's actually Jack Barlow. This sadistic, greedy little venom piece of shit. Using her conduit as the carrot for this little pig, she gets 3 answers before Imogen wipes his memory. Violet and the gang of frogs hop on over to the archives to visit Sawyer's girlfriend, who has some rather interesting information about the second Croveland uprising being connected to an Isle Kingdom and Feathertails. What? Yes, it's time for Violet to finally go get her father's research, or in this case, Dane's time to betray his father. Battle brief later is a triple whammy. 1, the Venom are advancing rapidly. 2, sages and mavens can and do wield signets, and Xaden is now a professor. Oh no, the relationship is over. Yeah, right. These people have been emotionally married since they laid eyes on each other, and definitely married after threshing. After Xaden quickly denies the end of their relationship, Violet heads to put the fate of what we think is plot-altering information in the hands of Dane Atos, who Kenzie thinks is a hottie now, and I will never let her live it down. After that is handled, Xaden reminds Violet that they have been emotionally married since threshing, and a code of conduct is nothing to them. Before they can get an exemption from the Venom trader, aka Vice Commandant Panchek, General Atos comes to inform them that that ain't gonna be happening. Flash forward to the following week, and the OG Quest Squad is struggling under Professor Grady's leadership, who won't do anything right, or listen to anybody who knows anything. On the bright side, these useless meetings are one of the few times Xaden and Violet can see each other. with supervision, of course, from bitch-ass Bindhaven and Ewan Faber and Caroline Asshat, of course. Their mission to find Andarna's kind is laden with political and egotistical refusal to listen to the only person in Dragon who might have a clue of where to start. Not like the fate of the continent rests on this mission or anything like that. Later that week, it's time for class with Professor Ryerson. Not that kind of class. Get your minds out of the gutter. At myself. Cue Xaden, proving once again that he is the most powerful, most ruthless, most strategic, most hottest badass in the military. Last up, it's time for Violet to spar with her boyfriend, who's really her husband. They just haven't tied the knot for a couple hundred pages. An exercise in signet sparring is actually a safeguard. Xaden is making sure Violet knows how to kill him if the worst should happen, which it might. After that particular exercise, that makes me question whether it is foreshadowing to a future book. The Iron Squad finally made it to Shintara, and we get like 2 pages. That's it. Whatever. It's not like I've been like looking forward to the scene for 2 entire books. It's fine. Over some ales, they discuss religious temples and if their squad mates will explode. Arik won't, because dude has definitely manifested his signet by this point. At least I'm convinced. By the next chapter, Dane has come through. Surprise, surprise. Redemption arc solidified. The great news is after waiting 2 books, we're about to find out what her father's research contains. Bad news is that we have to wait for her to unlock it with a 6-letter passcode or risk a giant explosion. Could it be her first love? Halden? Ugh. Speak of the devil, here this mofo comes to wreck the day and try to get back his ex-girlfriend that he never deserved. With his slipping control, Xaden accidentally sends him flying into a wall after Halden has the nerve to ask Violet on a date. The Halden we know and hate shockingly doesn't have a temper tantrum, and even more shockingly gives Violet the key to her father's passcode. The first initial 5 minutes of reading produce more mysteries, and the plot thickens. And then Xaden shows up, demanding a debrief of Violet's relationship with Halden, followed by a little makeout sesh and plans to retrieve a fancy gemstone. Quest Squad's first mission is an epic fail, mostly. They did retrieve the gemstone, but thanks to a jumpy wing leader, Grady and Aura are no more, and the drained town of Anka is now toasted, roasted, and scorched, and everyone nearly died via wyvern. Couldn't have gone any worse, honestly. With the princeling dangling in a basket like the little bitch she is, the new and improved Quest Squad heads to the Isle Kingdoms. Their pit stop in Corden consists of Taryn attempting to parent a wildly rebellious and very hungry Andarna on this field trip, and Xaden tricking Halden so he can finally have a night with his brilliant fucking woman. Spice-free, of course. Crossing the edge of the coast, magic leaves the squad. Nothing but emptiness to fill this massive hole that has become a part of each and every one of them. Thank you, Rebecca, for allowing Violet to communicate with her dragons because I would die without their commentary. On the bright side, Neverelli is a spectacular sight. While they wait for Halden to meet with His Majesty, time to recover from a grueling flight. Or in Xaden's case, appreciate the relief of not being able to channel even if he wanted to. And that's it.
We got a lot of new characters this book. I realized that.
A lot of new everything.
Yeah.
Characters, dragon names, drama, some old faces too.
Mm-hmm. Well, now that we have crossed the parapet, it's time to head in our. Now that we have crossed the parapet, it's time to head into our battle brief section, where we will discuss all notable things in the special chapters, including foreshadowing, theories, and our favorite parts.
How's that Taylor Port hitting?
I've only had a couple sips, man. Like, I can't talk already.
Yeah, well, sometimes a couple sips will get you there. The first thing we're going to talk about foreshadowing-wise, speaking of a Father Atos, let's talk about traitors and leadership. And honestly, I did not see it coming that Panchek was going to be the traitor revealed at the end of this book. I probably would have bet Father Atos or Melgren before I bet him. Because honestly, Panchek, I just forgot he existed most of the time. Yeah. Like, I know he's an important part of Besgaeth, but like, all right. Anyways, since we're talking about traitors, I think there is foreshadowing to confirm that Atos is what we have been saying he is, a Venin or complicit in helping the Venin with his nasty ass. This might just be a throwaway line, but when Violet is talking to Dane, he notes that his father is, quote, just a few rooms down with Panchek right now. So I know, they're in the military, they gotta have meetings and shit, whatever. But this is right before Atos comes to deny the exemption for the relationship. And it may not mean anything that they're together. I might be reaching just a tiny bit, but it does sure seem suspicious. And I'm going to be watching everything Panchek does the rest of this reread like a hawk, because I think we may learn some other clues to other traitors in leadership. Because from what Rebecca keeps saying, like, and even Violet's father, like, you can't trust anyone. There's got to be more traitors. I actually thought that more traitors are going to be revealed within the military in Onyx Storm, but we didn't get that. But I'm sure it's gonna be a thing in future books.
Yeah. Honestly, now, like, after learning about Panchik, I want to go back and reread Fourth Wing again just to, like, pick out the clues. Because, like, yeah. He was so undercover with it, like, I never would have guessed. Because I don't really, he's, like, such a background character. I never really paid that much attention to him. I think that was kind of smart on Rebecca's part because obviously Melgren and Father Atos are like obvious villains. So I wouldn't be surprised if like further on down the line we find out that they were also like traitors too. But I think Panchik was a good like start because we weren't really paying that close attention to him, and I'm pretty sure she like included those little tidbits in past books that we didn't pick up on.
I think she was trying to get us to think Melgren was a traitor, and he possibly could be. I actually have a feeling that he's maybe not now. But I think she was like throwing the signals in Melgrim's direction so that we wouldn't ever suspect Panchik. And it worked. I had no idea.
I saw somewhere where I don't remember if it was on TikTok or Reddit, but somebody was saying that they don't think that it could be Melgrim because they don't think that his dragon would support the whole Benin thing.
Same. I mean, we don't know that much about Koda, but I just kind of have a feeling because it doesn't sound like Taryn really hates him necessarily.
Yeah.
And he's also the elder of their den, so that would be pretty shocking, I think, if a member of the Empyrean, like one of the elders, was a Benin supporting little dude. I was gonna say piece of shit, and I was like, I can't call Dragon a piece of shit. That goes against everything I believe.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Well, next thing I want to discuss is Xaden's inevitable slip of his control. Now, we've known ever since book 1, Xaden's like his thing was like that really sets him out was his control. Xaden has such good control over his control. But since we've started this book, up until this point, Xaden has lost his control twice now. Once when they were trying to get spicy and he accidentally channeled, and then second when he was on the front lines. So, and one of those times was outside the wards and one was within the wards. And at this point, like I think we're starting to realize that it's a little bit more serious than we imagined, and he has a little bit less time than we would have guessed. And there's really only so much time at this point before he actually fully transitions into what's the next step after initiate?
ASIM.
Yeah. And we also know that he will also slip during their trip to the Isles.
I have something to say. He's gonna slip right into that couch.
Oh my gosh.
In my brain, I was like, he's gonna slip and slide right into that. You know what? I just had to get it out.
But he's gonna eventually slip somewhere, like slip and channel. I have to be specific. Accidentally slip and channel where there isn't really any magic, and he literally still finds like the smallest piece of magic to channel from. So at this point, he's kind of fucked.
Yeah. Basically. I thought it was interesting this stretch too, how many times like not even just Violet and Xaden, like other people were realizing how strong his signet is, and Violet was trying to like explain it away, like our signets develop over time, it's fine, everything's fine. But we know that the Venus is making his abilities stronger. But it was kind of hot and intriguing how strong he is, because we already knew he was so strong, but now it's like insane. And if he continues to progress, I can't even fathom how powerful he's going to be.
Like, I don't know. I feel like his dream. Never mind. I'm getting ahead of myself. Anyways, we'll save that for later.
It's so hard not to.
I know.
Even this stretch, I was starting to write some stuff on the outline. I was like, no, I need to save that for when it actually happens in future chapters. Anyways, I do get to talk about my favorite person to hate, which is Brennan. So obviously I'm still convinced that Naelyn and Brennan have a relationship, and he is a sage and Brennan is a traitor, especially since we're kind of learning that sages have some measure of control over their initiates, and I think the ASIMs as well. So that's interesting. So he could possibly be controlling Brennan if he's his sage. Maybe, possibly. Maybe that's what the mark on his palm is. But anyways, in book 3, we do actually get a specific reference to what I think is Naolan and the confirmation of his relationship with Brennan. So when Riddick asks about Brennan's first love, Violet recalls, quote, I do remember Mira saying he'd been in a relationship with a writer a year or two older than him. Well, that's suspicious. And if I'm not mistaken, I think in Fourth Wing or Iron Flame, we did learn that Naolan was just slightly older than Brennan, or was in the quadrant at the same time, but maybe a little bit older. I'll have to look and actually pull that quote, but I'm pretty sure. And then also something else I found suspicious is that in the letter that Violet's father wrote to her, he says, quote, trust only Mira. Why just Mira? Why not Brennan? Well, I know he was, I actually think, hot take, that Violet's father knew Brennan was still alive somehow.
Wait, what?
I actually think that Violet's father, at the time writing her this letter, knew that Brennan was still alive. Possibly. Hot take. I don't know. I just think it's suspicious that he said, like, why would he advise his daughter to trust only one of her siblings, unless obviously he knew that Brennan had passed and didn't think he was still alive. But I don't know. I just found that a little suspicious, and maybe I'm just like really reaching for every little crumb because I hate Brennan so much.
No, I actually thought the same thing. I thought the exact same thing.
Okay. Thank God. It's not just me.
I was going to piggyback off of what you said when you finished about that exact
same thing. I found it strange that it's mentioned several times, he became so reclusive after Brennan's death.
Yeah.
And I thought that maybe that was to keep his research hidden from more than just Navarre and the scribes, possibly his own son, who he may or may not have known was being controlled by a Venom, or was a Venom, I don't know. But regardless, I think both of these two things, it's just the evidence.
I think that, like, after reading 3 Rebecca Yarrow's fantasy books at this point, that we've learned to pay close attention to the fine print. And I had the same reaction when I read Trust Only Mira. I was like, I literally wrote my book. I was like, technically Brennan is dead at this point, but like, why so specific? Like, why only Mira? Very specific. I'm like,
and I was in that same letter, he was also like saying, if your mom has joined me, saying so that, like, he didn't know that his mom. So why wouldn't she say, like, trust only Mira and your mom if it was like a family thing?
Yeah.
That too. I don't know.
It sounds like if both me and your mom are gone, met Malik, only trust Mira. And it's just like, this is what kind of started my speculation in Onyx Storm about Brennan. Yes. About Brennan. Because at first I was like, I don't really see it. But then when I read this part of the book, I was like, okay, I can kind of see Brennan being a traitor. And obviously at the end of the book, I was like, interesting. So, yeah.
Very.
I wonder if... what's his name? Ark. I wonder if Ark has precogged that... that Brennan is a traitor, or if Andorna knows.
I want to know how much control Ark has over his precog, or if it's something like Violet, where, well, I guess right now she can't control it, but in the future she could. That's a whole other thing, but I don't know. I've been seeing a lot of theories too that Brennan possibly is the brother who turned at the end of Onyx Storm, which I don't necessarily agree with because I think he already has. But I've seen some really good reasoning as to that theory. So I don't know.
I never thought about Brennan. Because they have, I mean, like, he wasn't very specific. All he was like is that he's seen his struggle. Wait, did Brennan know that Zayden was Brennan?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, he could be a possibility. And then Dorna was like, I won't let him burn you.
I just saw Rebecca Yarros. I think it was, did you see the Fantasy Fangirls got to interview her on her tour? They asked her a question about the new brother, and she said it was someone who always wanted more than what they had been given. Or that's not the exact wording, but it was something like that.
Oh, yeah, I did see that one.
That makes me think Bodhi, but also could mean Brennan, maybe? I don't know. Let's talk about Broken Bonds. And I don't like this, but I'm going to talk about it. Okay. On the Quest Squad mission, Violet reflects in her internal monologue, quote, I have no desire to test the 3 to 4 day limit that riders and their dragons can be apart, nor to suffer the fatal consequences. So, I don't know. Is it just me? I got this on my reread and I was like, what? Because I was like, you can't be apart from Taryn for 3 to 4 days or you'll die? Is that new information or am I just blanking?
I feel like this was something we would have known.
That's what I'm thinking. Well, she was in the interrogation chamber for a week, and yeah, they like muted her bond with Taryn, so maybe that's why she didn't die for being apart from him that long. But I was trying to think of like other situations where she was apart from him for more than 3 or 4 days without dying, but I don't know. I couldn't think of it right off the bat. I don't know, but that's not even what I wanted to talk about. I was just like, what? But this kind of goes into what I'm talking to. So in our reactions episode, we theorized with Maddie, and we think we confirmed, we think we pretty much figured it out, that Taryn and Sigale broke their mating bond with help from Andarna at the end of Onyx Storm. And that is in order for Xaden and Sigale to maintain their bond, since there's apparently this 3 to 4 day limit on how long you can be apart from your dragon or you'll drop dead or whatever. So either this, I think this is highly likely what happened. I would bet my money here, and that this is foreshadowing to support. I think it's highly likely this happened at the end, that or Andarna helps Xaden and Sigale break their bond since Xaden had to flee. So either Sigale would stay behind or she would go with Xaden. But either way, a bond is getting broken. But I don't know. That's so interesting. And I'm really sad, but I do think that could be why Taryn is recovering at the end. I think we're right about this. I guess we're going to have to wait a while to figure it out. But it makes me sad that Taryn and Sigale would break their mating bond. But I also know that Xaden means a lot more to Sigale than she probably lets on. So, I don't know. I don't like it. Bonds are broken either way.
What if Andarna didn't sever the mating bond between Sigale and Taryn, but severed the bond between Xaden and Sigale?
That would make me really sad.
Yeah.
I don't know which option makes me sadder, honestly, because I feel like Xaden needs Sigale.
Because I feel like if Xaden has to go back to the Isle Kingdoms, she would suffer because of the magic, like the lack of magic there. I don't know.
If that's where Xaden is heading.
Yeah.
Unless he was just like, fuck it, I'm going full venom.
Maybe he's going to go back to Mommy. Mommy. Maybe Mommy has the answers.
Mommy. I hate her. Mommy!
Mommy. Mom.
Mommy!
Mommy? Okay.
But yeah. A whole segment. Anyways.
I do think that is a very valid reason as to why they would even need Andarna's help to even sever a bond. And I think that is because Xaden, either way it would go, like, would have to leave because now everybody knows he's been in, so they're gonna come after him, try to lock him up like JB. Obviously, he can't be away from Violet because then that means Sigale's away from Taryn, and that's the whole thing. And he can't be away from Sigale because that's the whole thing. So it's like at that point they didn't have any choice. So next, we're gonna talk about Violet's never-ending knee pain. Have you noticed this?
Dude, this bitch got bad joints. Well, I guess she has EDS or whatever it is, but yeah, gosh dang, that knee really kicked it in Onyx Storm.
Yeah, but like I know, like she has EDS, so we know that her joints have always given her problems. But during reading like Onyx Storm, I realized that she always keeps that one particular knee wrapped. Always, like no matter how many times it gets healed or mended, like it never stays healed for long. Even like with her shoulder sometimes, but even in this book, her shoulder got stronger because she was doing certain things to strain that shoulder, and she would say how surprised she was that it didn't pop. So it's like her shoulder got stronger, but like it's always like this knee does not heal. And she even says like, quote, doesn't matter how often Brennan mends me, this particular joint never stays healed for long, end quote. So I don't know, like I feel like this could be a part of your theory about her being touched by Malik maybe, or it could be have something to do with like Venom. And we still don't know her full like childhood story. So I wonder why like this knee just never heals, and she always has problems out of this knee and has to keep it wrapped up, and it's always like the first thing to like give her problems.
I never would have like looked closer at this unless you said something, but now knowing what we know about Rebecca Yarros's writing, I'm like, is this knee gonna factor into the plot somehow?
Right.
Or like connect to her backstory on like the Isles or whatever her dad did with her with the gods. I don't know. I think you may be onto something because you're right. It's like excessive how she talks about that damn knee.
Yeah. It's excessive.
Yeah. All right. Shall we talk about a theory, mate?
Yes.
Great. Okay. So I'm going to talk about a theory about Violet and the Empyrean. So previously I have theorized that Violet was a dragon shifter, which was not right, but it was a fun theory to talk about. Or I at least think she had a special connection to dragons, and I still continue to think this way. I'm just looking at it a little differently, and I do have some evidence. So here is the evidence. I'm thinking maybe her father saved her with dragon feathertail blood, so she might be technically part dragon. I've mentioned that before. I've mentioned how she can also talk to other dragons without getting roasted. There's also the symbolism of her wearing dragon scales, the dragon scale vest from Mira. There's that symbolism. And then Violet is told by Avenin that she can control a sky to surrender all of its power. And curiously, Empyrean means sky. And we know that Andarna's kind draws power from the sky, not the ground, like the other kinds of dragons. So those are two very intriguing coincidences. And she's also able to speak to her dragons in a land without magic and wield in a land without magic, pretty sure. And I think that's because she's drawing power from the sky. And that's just crazy that Empyrean means sky. And Andarna's kind draws power from the sky. I'm like, whoa. Okay. I do think that the series may be called The Empyrean. And Rebecca has emphasized that it's a dragon politics book because it could be Violet's story to become the first human member of the Empyrean. And another thing from this stretch of chapters, specifically when Violet is just being her badass self at the Cenarium, she says to the general, quote, "I speak with the authority of Taryn, Andarna, and the Empyrean." I was like, girl, are you going to go there? Are you going to be part of it? So that's a huge statement. It's not really necessarily strong evidence, but I think this could support the beginnings of this theory. And I really like it. So I kind of hope that maybe this would factor into the plot where we actually get to see inside the Empyrean a little bit more and Violet would get to participate in it in some shape or form.
Interesting. Very interesting.
I just knew your favorite moment was going to be all the drama.
How did you know?
Because you're toxic.
Of course. I do love that theory, though. It makes sense. And it also makes sense that maybe she was wielding from the sky, which is why she could wield magic on the Isles King. I like the way you think, woman.
I'm glad we have this podcast to do after we finish Onyx Storm. And I'm grateful that we talked about it with Maddie. Yeah. I feel a lot less like hopeless and like frustrated with like all the open-ended answers because I actually feel like we have some solid conclusions we're drawing, so I don't feel as lost and confused.
Yeah, because I know like one of my first thoughts after finishing the book, I was like, where are my answers? I got no answers. But it's like exactly. We're dealing with Rebecca Yarros here. Like obviously we're gonna have to read between the lines. There's no way she's just gonna give us an answer.
Yeah. But that's part of the fun. As much as it frustrates me right when I finish, I do love digging into it and forming my theories. It's so fun.
This is random, but I just looked up and stared at my Christmas tree and was like, dang, it's February the 4th and I still have my Christmas tree up.
I wish I had a Christmas tree. Honestly, do whatever you want. Keep it up year round.
It needs to go. I'm sick of looking at it, but I just don't have. I like go back there to the closet to get the stuff to take it down, and I'm like, absolutely not. I just don't have the energy for it right now. So
you need a vacation to take down your Christmas tree.
Literally.
All right, tell me about the drama.
So now moving on to our favorite moments. My first favorite moment was obviously the Holland drama, because you guys know how I feel about love triangles. I love triangles. And I was not expecting Violet's ex to be revealed. Like, I knew they were having a conversation about the exes and all that, but I was not expecting him to pop up. I was like, oh, he's here. And I absolutely laughed out loud at the scene when like Zeta knocks Holden on his ass, and he like his excuse was he was gonna touch you, and then Violet's like, oh, that's such a mature answer. Like, what the hell? Like,
and he was gonna touch her on her braid, which is Zeta's favorite part.
Yeah,
no.
He's like, nah. Try again. But yeah, I just love when Xaden's like jealous. And it's like we know that Violet and Dane they're not a thing right now. I love the fact like in this book, like even though Violet is like crazy in love with Xaden and would never like can never live without him, she like kind of reminisces about what her and Zane could have Zane? I just like combined their names. What Dane, her and Dane.
Can I get his number? I'm sorry. I had to do it once again. It's too
good. But yeah. And she's like reminiscing on what they could have been, and Zayden's like giving her the stare, and she's like, "What? Are you jealous? Sorry."
Wait, I can't wait for the next stretch of chapters because it's when they go to the merchant in Deverelli, and there's that whole mix-up. Oh my god!
I absolutely lost it. Absolutely lost it. I was like, "What the heck?" But yeah, and then like my favorite quote from Zayden in the stretch was quote, "Don't worry and Dane do not belong in the same sentence." And I was just like, bro, you're right. And then
I mean,
yes. And then my last favorite part of this book was just Daddy Xaden being Daddy Xaden. Yeah. He was he's been so sweet. He's been so sweet and so selfless and just beautiful. And like my other favorite quote is quote, "Because you are the only one capable of killing me." End quote. Love it.
What if she actually has to kill him? That'd be crazy.
Dude, I've been seeing theories about that. I'm not ready for it.
I think it's very plausible, but I think she would find a way to bring him back to life.
Obviously, she will find a way around it.
All right. Time for the Riddick spotlight. Yep, it's here. Okay. Riddick, I too have trouble keeping my inside thoughts inside. But thank you for not doing that so I can have my laughs when I need them. So I was just so many moments, but I laughed out loud when Garrick and Imogen were like doing their weird flirty spar thing, and Riddick just blurts out in front of everybody. He's like, "Oh God, just stop flirting and fuck already." I was like, my thoughts exactly. And then everyone's just like staring at him. And then also in this stretch, I did love his little moment where he put his foot down with the squad and set down like his reasoning for wanting to be part of the quest squad, and just saying like his humor doesn't make him any less capable than they are, which is absolutely true. But I just love him. He's truly a gem, and I will die if he does. If he dies, I will never recover. I might just jump off a bridge. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that. Don't do that. But I'll be crushed forever. All right. Suck it, Markham. I hate you. Suck it, suck it, suck it. He got the verbal ass whipping we have been waiting for by his former protege. And I'm going to read this quote. It's so good. Quote, "You don't speak, not to me. As far as I'm concerned, you have the credibility of a drunkard and the integrity of a rat." Violet really went in for the kill, not to mention that was in front of like the whole scenario, I think. Yeah. And she just roasted his ass. And absolutely very true. Very satisfying to read. And this makes me even happier. I was thinking when she said this, like if Markham did kill her father, this is just even more satisfying that she's calling him a rat and a drunkard. But I hope he gets even more because he deserves worse. Personally, I think so. All right. Let's talk about Mira and Drake, who I am shipping religiously. Yeah. But this was one of my favorite scenes in the book, and I feel like I say that about a lot, but for real. I loved when she met Drake. That whole interaction. She was like, "You're Drake Cordella of the Nightwing Drift?" And he's like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Take this." He's in balls. And I'm just like, if they fall in love, that's like the cutest story ever. Well, not cute. Well, it is. I don't know. But I just love her. I just love her for so many things. Her big sister energy in this book and all the books, and she has the audacity.
I love how he's like all arrogant about it. He's like, "Oh yeah, you've heard of me?" She's like, "Yeah, take this."
Oh, and he was like, "Heard."
All right, folks, time to close out our battle brief and move on to the Book of Justinia, where we will dive into the mythology that inspired Onyx Storm, as well as a breakdown on everything we know about runes up until this point. Feel free to skip ahead to the flight field if you feel like you're already an expert.
Nah. Okay. So for some of the world building stuff we're going to get into today, we're going to get into a deep dive of the Isle Kingdoms, talk about a little bit of the history and a little bit about what we know about each one. So the Isle Kingdoms is made up of 5 large and 13 smaller islands that surround the continent in every direction. And also a fun fact. So on her Onyx Storm tour, Rebecca confirmed that the Isle Kingdoms are not on the Onyx Storm map because it was deemed too spoilery. What? Makes me think there's probably like an island there somewhere they're probably gonna revisit or journey to that they haven't been to before. That's possibly the Malik Island. Maybe, I don't know. But maybe something spoilery is over in them isles that we're not allowed to see, even on a map. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
Anyways, the Isles were allies to Navarre in the Great War, and one of its notable exports is Deverelli silk, which I think is what Xaden bought Violet, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's soft and transparent. Navarre's unification had many costs, one of which was travel to the Isles became prohibited. So that cut off visitation and trading for centuries, which is why no one's been there for many, many, many years. And Corden, which is where Viscount Takaris is from, it's the seaside city in the Krovla province of Poromio. Actually continued to trade with the Isles until the danger of Venin eventually slowed and stopped this. Queen Maria Poromio refused every marriage proposal from the Isles before eventually selecting Viscount Takaris as her heir. So, fun little history facts here. So, let's get into the Isles. Deverelli, the first one that we're going to visit in the story. The capital is Matthias, and the Isle is ruled by King Cortland, who is a royal asshole with large cats as pets. And Rebecca actually inspired this Isle from Turks and Caicos. So, thank you, Maddie Morgan, for that information.
Yes.
All right. Umbriel, the capital is Istal, and it is ruled by Queen Marlis, who Violet will kick her ass. And this isle is dedicated to Dune, the goddess of war, and to enter, you must prove yourself a worthy fighter. And it's even way more toxic than Basgiath, which is shocking. It's hard to do. Hedotis is another isle, and the capital is Vidiris. And it's ruled by a triumvirate. Oh, we know that word. We know that word from Quicksilver. Anyways, Ferris, Roslyn, and Nairi. Yeah, those are the triumvirate. And this isle is dedicated to Hedian, god of wisdom.
They're actually really stupid there.
Yeah, they are. Turns out knowledge doesn't make you smart. All right, the next isle is Zelina. The capital is
the what?
It starts with an X. I don't know how to fucking pronounce it.
No, I'm talking about, how did you say the city? The isle?
Zelina? How would you say it?
I thought it was Zelda.
Zahilina.
Zelda? I don't know. I thought it was like Zelda. Anyway, it was close to Zelda or something like that.
The capital is Zortris. Yeah. And it's the god of luck isle, so it's dedicated to Zanal. And Loisum is the love island, and we don't know the capital to this one, but it is dedicated to Loyal, god of love. And it has guards but no army, hence why our squad didn't go there.
So we're going to actually just do a quick rune continuation, because we do learn, every book we're learning more and more about runes, and then our cadets actually, they learn a little bit more how to control runes, a little bit more about runes. So quick rune recap. We've already discussed like runes in detail in past episodes, but here's a quick breakdown. So runes are strands of magic, and they come in the form of shapes, and each shape has a different meaning, and then you can put those shapes together and combine them to create a specific rune, kind of like a sentence. You put different words together and make a sentence, and it has a specific meaning. Same thing with runes. Boom. So
that was a flawless explanation.
So in this book, we saw that our cadets were practicing setting a group of runes into objects and actually layering these runes. And they also worked on imbuing power into these runes, and like they were also layering again the objects and imbuing it so it serves many different purposes. And I feel like they can also maybe tweak or adapt runes because of the scene in the Ward Stone where they took out rooms and then placed or like moved rooms around to make a different room so that the flyers could actually wield within the wards. So I'm actually still very confused on how these rooms work, but this is what I got from the book. Because Reddit and TikTok and the Imperium Wiki was not helping me with this. I was like, bruh, I don't understand. This is hard.
I don't know why that was like the funniest part of the episode to me. You like definitely like explained it as well as you could. That's all I'm gonna say. And I think you might be feeling the alcohol.
Probably. This is how. Yeah. Yep. Probably.
I hope our audience likes how increasingly unhinged our episodes are becoming, because I feel like every episode I just get like even more goofy and
yeah, same.
You never know what's gonna happen.
No, even I don't know what's gonna happen. Oh no, Cleo, the condensation. I need to go back and watch H2O.
Rename this podcast Inside Thoughts Outside.
Moving on. Time to head to the flight field. Where every week, Kana and I will do 2 mini-series unique to our podcast. They won't be the same every week, so keep tuning in for all the fun. First up, Kiss, Marry, Kill, and then we're going to do a small business spotlight.
Can we do Smash, Marry, Kill?
I mean, yeah, that's cool.
I don't know why we're doing like the PG version.
Smash, Marry, Kill.
All right, first up, Garrick, Bodhi, Ark. What you got?
Ark's kind of hot.
For me, it's a smash situation. No, I'm just kidding.
Smash Ark. Wait, no, marry Ark.
Smashable.
Marry Ark. Because then I can smash them all the time.
Want that crown?
Obviously.
Oh my
god. Smash Garrick. Kill Bodhi.
Damn. I think I would.
Wait. I don't know, because Bodhi looks like Zayden, but like I don't want no Zayden.
Oh my god.
I don't want no Zayden wannabe. So yeah, I'm gonna keep
You don't want no Walmart version of Zayden. No. I actually think it's very attractive. But, I mean, he can't be Zayden, so. I'm gonna do slightly the same thing. Bodhi, you're dead. Don't really care about you. I don't know why I'm sorry. Garrick, I'm gonna marry you because I'm obsessed with you. And Arik, smash.
Smash, marry, kill. Dane, Halden, Cortland.
Cortland's dead. And then I'm taking his cats. Ooh. I think I would like hate smash Halden. It'd probably be good, let's be honest.
Yeah.
And Dane, I'm gonna marry him, and I'm actually not upset about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
What would you do? Would you marry Dane too?
Same.
I feel like if we would have asked you this question a month ago, you would have been
was like, dead.
Dead. I'd rather marry Cortland.
Yeah, he was dead for sure. I mean, being married to Cortland would have been pretty entertaining, and Halden would have been pretty entertaining.
True.
Yeah.
Until he cheats on you or feeds you to his cats.
Yeah. You're right. Never mind.
I'm just trying to be frank. What about you? Are you going to tell me?
Yeah, no, it's the same.
Oh.
Yeah, I said same.
I thought you were gonna say what? I thought you were saying same to marry Dane, but I thought you were gonna change the other two, and I don't know why I would have thought that because
no, it's the exact same.
All right, we're getting into the girls here: Violet, Rihanna, and Imogen.
Okay, here we go. Shit, I'm sorry, Imogen. I have to kill you because you're my least favorite out of the three. Sorry. Well, am I the only one that did not care for her point of view of killing Imogen?
I actually love Imogen.
I'm killing Imogen. I'm smashing Violet. I'm marrying Rihanna. Because why not?
That's valid. Shit.
Yeah.
I don't want to marry Violet for some reason. She's scary.
Yeah. I mean, Rihanna's scary too. And Imogen. They're all scary.
Am I so bad for like killing Violet?
You're spicing it up a little bit. Okay.
Well, I just feel like she pissed me off this book a little bit, and I'm salty. Okay. Well, she pissed me off because I was like, "Bitch, you need boundaries. You can't just ruin yourself for a man. I'm sorry. Not even if it's Zayden Ryerson. That's not why I wouldn't want to marry her. I just feel like we wouldn't make the best couple. I would marry Rihanna because I feel like she would be a great partner. She's very dependable and grounded, and I feel like I need somebody like that.
Yeah.
And Imogen's super hot, and I feel like it would be super spicy. So, smash.
Nice.
I'm sorry, Violet. I love you, but not enough to marry you. Not enough to kill Imogen.
All right. Next, smash, marry, kill. Llewellyn, Brennan, or Grady?
Fuck. I'm trying to think of how Llewellyn was described. Like, was he ugly or fugly?
I really don't remember. Did he have like gray hair?
Fugly. Oh god, he's fugly. Kill. Ooh.
I'm surprised I thought you was gonna kill Brennan first.
I'll smash Brennan. Only because I have to. And then I guess I'll marry Grady because like he's annoying for sure.
He's gonna die anyways.
Like he doesn't seem he'll die anyways. I'll be married to him 2 pages? That's fine. That was very difficult. I just hate Llewellyn's name. It makes me cringe on the inside. I'm not sure why.
Am I weird? I might smash Llewellyn. Just to spice it up. Just to spice it up a bit.
Sure. Yeah.
Sure. I put a Mary Brennan. Just to be close to the Sorrengail family. Like,
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense.
And he has a dragon.
Naturally.
So. Yeah.
True.
And then Grady, just gonna go ahead and kill him. He's gonna die anyways.
Yeah.
So
I just don't care about Grady whatsoever.
Yeah.
I don't have any particular feeling towards him. Like, not hate is giving him too much of my time. All right, we're getting real here. General Atos, King Tori, and Commandant Pancheck.
Off rip, I'm killing Father Atos. Cause heck no. I don't really remember how King Tori was, but I think I'm gonna maybe marry King Tori. He has a crown, riches, maybe marry King Tori. I don't know. And then I'll probably smash Commandant Pancheck because I want some of that Benin D.
I don't remember how he's described either. I feel like he's an old man as well, but I mean, you get that Benin D.
He's Benin, so technically he's Benin, so he's not like he's immortal now, basically. So maybe he can use his powers to make himself look younger. Maybe like a room that makes him look younger, and then we can make that work.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Well, if he's Venom, if he progresses, he'll look real fucking scary. I'm gonna marry Pancheck.
That took a turn.
So I can get that Venom D frequently. And I'll smash the king because I don't want to marry him. Actually, you know what? Never mind. I do want to marry the king because I want to be queen. That's more important than getting that. Okay, I'll smash Pancheck. We'll just smash them together. And then General Atos, he's dead, goner. Wouldn't even consider it for a second.
Right. So instead of, I'm never gonna say vitamin D again. I'm really gonna say just Vitamin D. Just to confuse people. Like, yeah, I need some Vitamin D.
I need some money. You're gonna go up to Cam. I want that Vitamin D. He's gonna be like, huh? What?
Go outside to get some Vitamin D.
You just say that, and then he'll be like, "What?" And you're like, "I said vitamin D. What are you talking about?"
Yes.
Oh my god, I'm so dead, bro.
Okay, I threw some ladies in here too. So we got smash, marry, kill. Quinn, Sloane, Cat.
I'm going to marry Sloane because she seems like a real sweetheart on the inside.
Yeah.
And I'm a smash Cat because I love her. And I'm sorry, Quinn, but you die anyways. And I was just never that attached to you. I only liked her because she was friends with Imogen. So
actually, same. Yeah.
Same. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I love Sloane. I can't wait to see her keep growing.
I know.
And her and Dane.
Don't get me started. I love that. She's like, I'm gonna hurt you, and he's like, oh, don't I know it? I was like, what?
Dane, eyes on me, Atos.
Are you dating a younger cadet that's against the code of... What the fuck is it called?
Dare he? Code of
Codex.
I was like,
it's against the codex, bruh. Ain't no way.
Because of where Dane started in the Sloane as a child of the librarian. What? The rebellion?
Librarian? What the hell?
Drink wine every episode because this is iconic. Child of the rebellion. I just think it's like a forbidden love trope almost.
Yeah.
I don't know where the librarian came from. Okay. Next miniseries. Okay, it's a small business spotlight, and I wanted to highlight a brand that I came across on TikTok, and they're also on Etsy shop, which will be linked in our show notes, so go check them out. So Imaginaria Co. makes stained glass bookmarks that are so beautiful. They're really colorful, and the way they like reflect on the page and you can see through them to the pages, it's just so pretty. If I wasn't broke, I would have bought them all. If I was a billionaire, I would have bought them all 5 times. Anyways, they have lots of different kinds of them. They have Lord of the Rings, Fourth Wing, Throne of Glass, Coraline, ACOTAR, and just more generic ones. They have like a stained glass one with just dragons, which is my favorite. When I do have money, I want to buy one. But yeah, they're really, really pretty bookmarks and definitely unique. So go check out him or her, I actually don't know, the Etsy shop in the show notes. They're really pretty. Before we close out our episode today, it's time to spar. So each week, Kenzie and I will give each other and our listeners 2 trivia questions. And at the end of our Onyx Storm coverage, we'll see who has the most points. And the loser will have to do something embarrassing, funny, weird. I don't know. We'll see. And you guys are more than welcome to suggest punishments or consequences for the loser, which will be Kenzie. Ooh. Just kidding. I actually have been sucking at trivia.
Okay. What was the name of Holden's red-headed guard?
Anna Winshire.
How the hell do you know her last name? I only got her first name on here. What's wrong with you? Okay.
I almost asked you that question. That's why I think.
Okay.
All right.
I'm scared.
Okay, what is the name of the rare gem Quest Squad is sent to retrieve for Viscount Takaris?
The hell? Ruby?
What? Not even close.
I don't know.
It's 2 words.
2 words?
It rhymes with Bedelia Petrine.
The hell?
It's the Emilian citrine.
Yeah, nah, I would have never ever gotten it.
Oh my god. Okay, I'm ready.
What number Duke is Xaden?
Oh shit. 14th.
Nah, bro.
Fuck. Am I like way off? Are you gonna tell me what it is?
Oh, I thought you were gonna guess again. Okay.
Oh no, I give up.
It's the 16th.
Damn it. So close. Alright, my next question's pretty hard, I'm not gonna lie.
Shit.
Which aristocrat in the scenario was the first to propose a betrothal between Xaden and her daughter?
Maria. What's her name?
No. I'll give you a hint. It's a duchess. And it's not a name necessarily.
The Duchess of shit. The Duchess of... Dude, I literally did this last week. I listened to people on the scenario and I said the Duchess of... I don't think I can... The Duchess of What? I don't know. What is it?
It's the Duchess of Moraine.
Oh shit, I would have forgot that.
I was literally gave you the most hints. Well, the good news is you have 4 more episodes to catch me. Like,
What's
you're not
the
even
score?
that far behind. I have 2 now, and you have 1. So
okay, it's light work.
That is a wrap on yet another extremely goofy deep dive into Onyx Storm. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We're so happy you're here.
Join us next Thursday as we continue our deep dive into Onyx Storm, where we will be going over chapters 23 through
Word. It means the world to both of us to have feedback, especially right now in the form of reviews. We are growing a lot in the midst of our Onyx Storm deep dive, and we would really love you guys to help us capitalize on that. So leave us a review, give us your feedback, or message us on social media at Shadow and Starlight Pod. We can talk about books. You can give us feedback, whatever. We love to talk to people that listen to our podcast. So reach out to us, and then make sure to subscribe on YouTube and all major podcast platforms for a freshly baked episode to be delivered directly to you next week.
Bye, friends. See you next week.
Bye, friends.